Hey, Brigham with Drift here. Welcome back to my garage. Thanks for tuning in. In this video, we've got another ride review and comparison. So we had another huge storm, 9 to 10 inches of fresh snow, and couldn't resist taking out a few powder boards and see how they compare. So this time, I wanted to compare the Cardiff Powgoda, which I've been riding on all the deepest days of this season, see how it compared to the Jones Storm Chaser, which was my favorite powder board last year, and also the Hovercraft 2.0, which was one of the boards I was most excited to try this year. So got it out, drifted up for a lap before the lifts ran, and then got a few more laps on each board after that. And you'll have to watch and see what the results are. Let me know what you think. Hit me up with your questions, your comments. Love to hear from you. Thanks again for watching. Check out all this new snow. Alright, just got first tracks on the Hovercraft 2.0, and I mean, to be fair, this mountain is not steep enough. It's got a lot of flattish spots, but definitely overwhelmed it. Found the limits of the flow. When it's steep enough, it was just fine. There's just a lot of snow. I just grabbed the Storm Chaser. I don't think I could have anything too long today, frankly, for some of these flat spots, but go Hovercraft, Storm Chaser, and then we'll do the Powgoda. See how that compares. The Hovercraft was good as long as it's steep enough, but it was a little underwhelming for me. So curious how this feels. I think this is the 157. I think I'm gonna wish I was on a 160. I think it's gonna give me an excuse to have the biggest Storm Chaser you can get. Down with the Storm Chaser. I gotta be careful because the more track this gets, the easier it is to ride through it. So I need to go find something that's like untouched to do a direct comparison. But right now I'm gonna say it has better float than the Hovercraft, even in the 157. The 160 I would 100% be happy with today, but 57 was solid, especially if it's steep enough. That full rocker just definitely gives you the that extra little bit of lift, and then obviously definitely a lot surfier off the back end, a little squirrelier in the sections that I'm kind of bombing, but a little easier to maneuver through some of those big moguls that are underneath and stuff too. So it just kind of depends on the feel you want, and obviously we know which one's going to be better on the groomers, which do not exist today. Finished up with the Storm Chaser. The powder's getting pretty tracked up, and it's actually quite warm, so it's starting to get a little bit heavier. But the Storm Chaser is phenomenal in that stuff, and even once it gets tracked out, man, that thing just pops off of those pillows and into the next pillows, and you can turn it so quick. It's so fun. I hope they don't mess it up by adding camber to it. Obviously that'll make it better in other circumstances, but I really like it. But on the third lap is the most tracked out, and the snow's starting to settle. It's a little bit heavier, and so there's some hard pockets and stuff, like it's starting to pack a little. You definitely feel that shape start to get knocked around a little bit. So swap to the Powgoda from Cardiff. Way more stable and confident, like in the cruddy stuff. Phenomenal float still. It's like, I would say it's quicker to turn and a little surfier than the Hovercraft, and it has better float. I think it has more early rise in the nose, more rocker. I got to go through like a really deep, kind of slow section to see how it compares float-wise, but I'm gonna say right now, like, I think I'm gonna pick the Powgoda over the Hovercraft 2.0 as a paddleboard, which probably makes sense. Day. Powgoda was insane. Storm Chaser was insane. Hovercraft's good too. Not hating. It's gonna do the flagship, but I ran out of time. Driftboards gave me the best run of the day though, the first lap in the steeps. And then the Storm Chaser was super fun too. And some of that tracked up stuff. Yeah, amazing day. Thanks for tuning in.